16 Minutes of Care is a podcast based on the CARE principles, a strategic framework that reveals how brands create impact by caring and, as a result, grow their business. In each episode, 𝗩𝗛𝗓 welcomes a company executive who explains how care has helped their business grow successfully and sustainably.
Welcome back. 16 Minutes of Care with Thomas Van Eeckhout, CEO of Easi, an IT solutions and IT services company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thomas. We talked during 3 episodes about your positive impact that you have on people, starting internally with your own people, but of course also the impact you have on clients and stakeholders. My care principles are about care for people and care for planet. So I could not talk about your impact that you're having on planet. Most IT companies are not so driven about sustainability and that mindset. How is it at Easi? How do you take your care for planet seriously?
We take it seriously. Then again, it's in our business and in what we do, we have a very big potential impact on people part. And I think the potential impact on planet is different. We're not producing anything. We don't have factories. We have people driving cars, and that is something that we're actively working on. But the focus really goes on the people part rather than the planet part. But when talking about planet and basically sustainability in general, we do notice that our people. Our people's mindset have changed, and people are expecting us to take our responsibility. So we have some initiatives going, but whenever we talk about such initiatives, I always want to involve our people as well. It is too easy to claim that my employer, or I expect my employer to do a lot of things. I want them to be part of it. And I will basically support any initiative if people are committing themselves and if people are committing their time to such an initiative. So that is really something that we encourage people to do, and so we want to or we're very much aware of the impact we have on the planet, and we try to take our responsibility as a company.
Mm-hmm. As we said before, the average age of people working at Easi is about 30, and it will get younger because you're hiring at a high speed. Do you feel that younger people are more aware about the sustainability issues? Is it something, those demands from people, or maybe when you're recruiting, is it more obvious today than, let's say, 5 to 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's something that has changed. I'm not sure if it's only a generational thing, but definitely the number of people that when they join Easi are asking us if they really need a company car and if they can have maybe an alternative. So that amount of people is on the rise, and we have more and more possibilities for flexibility in our mobility approach. So we try to respond to that change, but we're not there yet. And I think that we will continue to evolve, and I'm quite sure that, for example, in 2025 we will be different than what we do today. But it is something that is becoming more and more important, and that we try to include and integrate in what we do as an employer.
Mm-hmm. You were saying you don't produce anything, but all the IT services, the clouds, the servers, and all of that. Do you try to find there more sustainable solutions, because they use a lot of energy? These servers, are there already green solutions for that?
Yeah, there are certain green solutions. It's always interesting to see if they are really green solutions, or if the impact is just being compensated. And but it is something that we have analyzed at a certain point in time, and it gave us basically some tools, or we implemented certain things that had a positive impact. But I'm not claiming that we are at the top of our league at this moment when talking about environmental aspects. So that's something that I need to be honest on. But it's something that we want to work towards with our employees, because as I said, initiatives can't just come from me as a CEO, for example, because it needs to be integrated as far as I'm concerned, and I want people to take their responsibility as well. So it's a joint effort and a continuous effort.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a tool for your employees so they can give ideas on becoming more sustainable, becoming more ecological?
We have we have certain ways and processes that allow people to share ideas. I think one of the most powerful or one of the things we do is we have free talk sessions, which is every 6 or 8 weeks. Jean-François on the French talking side and myself in Flanders, we put all of our employees in a meeting room, and we allow them to ask any question they would like to ask, and we commit to giving them a 100% transparent response as far as that is possible. And so we have put that topic on such meetings, and we basically discussed, and we felt that people are expecting certain things, and we explained how we want to evolve and gave them the possibility to share their ideas, and there were quite some ideas and some of them that we are going to put into practice. So it's something that is really in evolution. I think 10 years ago, to be honest, sustainability and environmental aspects in general really weren't on the top of our list of priorities, and it's evolving. So it's something that we will be working a lot more on in the future.
Mm-hmm. You were saying previously that you're a very competitive company.
Mm-hmm.
You like all the awards you've been winning because it helps you put things on paper and it helps you evolve. Is sustainability also something that you might will become more competitive in?
I think that's a very nice example of how we can link initiatives in the company, and whenever we would join a competition, we would force ourselves to become better and better. So it's something that indeed might be an interesting idea to join a competition and in order to put the bar higher for ourselves and to question ourselves in a bit more in a more structural way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What sometimes people forget when we talk about sustainability, we often think that it's sustainable for the planet, but there's of course also a part sustainable for people. And for instance, diversity and inclusion is part of being sustainable for people. How IT environments are mainly male-driven environments. Mm-hmm. How well is Easi scoring on gender?
It's something that we have 25% females inside of Easi, which is not a score that I'm proud of, but I'm proud of the evolution that we have known, and I'm quite confident that it's a matter of time before we evolve towards a 50-50 situation. And it's something that, as for the environmental aspects, I think in the early days of a company, or at least back in the days, it wasn't a focus. I think sustainability back in 2006 was not on the list of priorities of a lot of companies. So that has evolved, and it's basically about being aware of the added value of having a gender equal company, and then basically committing to a certain objective and a certain ambition, and then putting things in place that force us to reach that ambition. So as for a lot of things, we're not perfect, but I can promise that we have the discipline to do the right thing day after day after day, and it's by doing that we will evolve towards a better situation.
Mm-hmm. And how about, because diversity is of course more than just gender, it's also about language, it's about social background, it's about age, it's really about including everyone into a company. How well are you scoring on that level, or is that also something that you're still...
Quite well. I think, at least when talking about the inflow of people inside of the company, we really just look at the attitude and the values. I've hired 𝗩𝗚𝗘𝗢𝗧𝗘𝗥𝗦 a couple of years ago, and because I basically never check diplomas or CVs as far as I'm concerned, because it's about attitude, it's about values. So whenever we see a match in that field, we just go ahead because we know that we can train skills and competences. So I think we're quite okay in that field. Then again, we're not perfect, and it's a continuous effort, and it's something that is in constant evolution as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you look at the future, where do you see the biggest hurdles for Easi to become more caring for the planet?
I don't really see any hurdles.
No.
I think that it is, it's too easy to talk about external factors that might prevent us from taking certain initiatives. Whenever we want to achieve something, we have to organize ourselves in order to make that a reality. So I don't really see much hurdles. I think it's a matter of time and doing the right thing day after day after day, and then I believe that we will be able to achieve what we want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Do you see opportunities to, for instance, in recruitment, to say we're gonna place more accent on that or on that, so we can find a better match with more people?
Yeah, definitely. It's about hiring people. It can contribute to the story that we bring towards candidates. It's also about the commercial aspect. Companies, customers as well are interested in knowing how we manage those things. And I need to be careful because I have the feeling that we still have a long way to go. But for example, in the Best Managed Company, or in order to obtain the Best Managed Company label, we have we need to talk about sustainability, and we have quite some initiatives. But I still have the feeling that we can do more. But our communication responsible made that file and explained all of the things that we were doing, and I was actually quite happy and impressed with all of the things that were going on. But we have to force us to become even better in that field.
Mm-hmm. Is it something, because you said you were surprised yourself when the list was put together, is that something, I see this in a lot of companies, they do a lot of efforts, but it's not like well written down, it's not like all put together to see what is happening, and so also companies often don't dare to communicate because they say, okay, we do this, but this and this and this, we are not there yet. Is that something that you recognize, that you're a bit shy to communicate about it? Yeah,
a bit shy, or it's not, maybe it's not shy, it's more the feeling that we're not there yet. Indeed, yeah, I can really confirm or join that feeling. But I think it's better to have that feeling than to be too optimistic and to claim that we're perfect and everything is done and it's basically a check in the box. The box isn't checked, and I think that the impact on the environment and the world that we leave to our children and grandchildren, that is something that needs to be on top of our priority list. And maybe it's more that feeling that we're still not there yet, which maybe in our context makes sense, because as I said, it's more about people than about the impact, or the impact we have on the planet isn't that big. But still, it needs to be on top of our priorities list, at Easi and at home, obviously, as well.
Final question, Thomas. We're at the end of the last episode of 16 Minutes of Care. Could you give some tips and tricks for other people who are running a company or who are working in a company, who want to have more positive impact on people? Where can they start? What should they do? What can they copy? What can they learn from Easi?
So I would like to give a very actionable advice. I think people nowadays, or at least the people we want to hire, but I think any company would like to hire the people we hire. So people don't want flat careers. People want to feel, they want to know that they can evolve, and they want to know how they can evolve. So as a CEO, as a manager, you have to make careers actionable. And one very good way to achieve that is to really, as I said in a previous episode, describe the roles you have, describe the levels one can reach inside of that role, and talk about attitude, talk about competence as well, but more about attitude, about values, the things that you want to see happening inside of your company. Make that very transparent, and people that are doing the right thing, allow them to evolve and to take responsibility. Not just the ones that are making the most noise or that are the most competent, but the ones that can really have a positive impact on values and culture. Those are the people that you need to promote and that you need to give a lot of attention to and a lot of place to inside of your company.
Mm-hmm. Nice one to end. Thank you so much, Thomas. I think it was really interesting to talk to Thomas from Easi, CEO at Easi. And one of the things that I remember from the 4 episodes is that we can all take better care of people and planet. It's not just up to the CEO or to the leading people in a company to take their responsibility. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Please share this podcast with as many people as you can. Vote for us. Give us a review. Give us all the stars it deserves. Thank you very much and take care.
Want to create lasting impact with your brand while feeding sustainable growth? Check out 𝗩𝗚𝗗𝗘𝗥𝗦 and see how we can help you. 16 Minutes of Care is an independent production from 𝗂𝗛𝗓𝗏𝗡, brand strategist, founder of the Care Principles, and author of the book, Does Your Brand Care? Help us reach more companies who are looking for caring and sustainable growth by giving this podcast all the stars it deserves and by sharing it in your network. Thank you and take care.